All right, everybody, and we are live. We just got the notification. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be getting our guest here shortly. He's running a little late, so we're just chilling right now. Listening to some background music. You know, just chilling. Just chilling right now. Waiting for our guest to arrive. It's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be me and DMTurner, Rob, just chatting about some things. Who knows what we'll talk about tonight? Probably some freaky deaky shit. Buckle up. It's time to get weird, folks. Just waiting on our guest to come in. I will go ahead and send him the link again, just in case. All right. Hey, what's up? Hey, thanks for stopping by again. Appreciate you. Give me 1 second. We are just about to start, and Rob is just about to join us. Just allow me 1 second, please. I'm going to send him a message. Thank you for the positive message. Megan, what's up? Thank you for joining us tonight. We're just getting started. Thankful that the algorithm found you tonight. We're waiting on our guest, Rob, who generally joins us on time, but he seems to be having an issue, which is okay. I can fill in the gaps. Although I don't like talking, I can surely entertain you all for the moment. Wow, that definitely was the algorithm now, wasn't it? Awesome. Just waiting on our guest to arrive. There we go.
4 minutes longer than I wanted.
Hey, yo, what up?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Not much, just
I'm having
chilling. Just
11 o'clock cup of coffee. I never do this, so.
Well, for sure, it's gonna be a fun night.
How's your night going? What are you doing besides this?
Oh, I am doing a little bit of winter cleaning. Also, earlier I was hanging up Christmas decorations for the fam bam, which is a good thing. A little family time never hurt nobody's. I don't know, just chilling, man. Not much going on. Much going on. My dyslexia. Not much going on, man. Just having fun.
I gotta decorate more for Christmas. My daughter was like, "Mommy's house is prettier," and I'm like, "Oh man, we need more stockings and stuff in here." Yeah.
Nah, bro, it's not about the material. It's about the time you spend with people. That's worth more than anything, man.
It's so weird how far we've come. Like the idea of what Christmas is and like all these different cultures. It's just so funny. So funny.
You would think people would be a lot nicer around this time of year, but they really aren't, man. I don't know what it is.
For grandma over to get a tea. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
What's she doing right now? Filling up the chillum?
Chilling.
That's what's up.
Shut up. Yo, I want to make Maynard's brownies. Dyer Von Zeta. I got enough halves because all you need is a knife tip. No eggs. No eggs.
That sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah, I would put all my hash in though. A knife tip doesn't sound like enough. I would put like whatever brownies, and then see how they feel. See how they feel. I know you could eat hash to get really fucked up. I've never really eaten it like that, so that'd be kind of interesting to make some kind of recipe out of it instead of just
That would be
smoking.
very interesting. Absolutely.
Terrence's talk, the hashish eaters. I love that. He like reads. It's one of the times he's like reading from a book. He's reading the hashish eaters, and this fucking dude, like, he goes deep into the realms off of eating a bunch of hash. Like he was in there, dude. It's crazy. I didn't know it could do that. Come on, dude.
That's very interesting. I have not heard that. I will take the time to check that out. That sounds very interesting. After the amount of hours that I've probably spent listening to Terrence, I have not heard that one, so it's very interesting to me.
That's real interesting. The hashish eaters. It's real interesting. Yeah, full-blown psychedelic experience. Full-blown. MT level trip status. Whoa, don't. I need a chilling holder. Set it down. Stuff.
Trying to think what you could use around the house at this exact moment, but nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, I got a kneaded eraser. I can just stick it right in there.
Would you have like a tiny jar or a dabs cap or something? You could prop it up.
Actually, no, thank you. There we go.
Yeah, there you go, bud.
Brass vessel. I got this deck of tarot cards sitting here. They look so fascinating, and I am so like, these things are so complex. I'm like, I'm never gonna use. It's a shame, or at least not the way they were intended. You guys, I've never been big on the tarot, but I was really interested in like the hermetic deck. But then I started looking at it. I'm like, this is way more complex than I could even dabble. Yeah, because there's like lots of math involved in. Maybe that's why I should do it, because my math skills are rough. Damn it, Rob. Coming up with excuses and finding answers.
No, you should totally do it, brother. I myself, I've dabbled in tarot a little bit, but after a while, I just started trusting my intuition really heavily, and I haven't really looked back. But it's always fun to get a reading from a friend and see how that lines up for you. You know what I mean?
You know, exactly. Yeah, my thing is I just want to see what the pattern is. You know, like somebody that knows how to do it, to lay the cards up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what I want. That doesn't sound bad. There's weird patterns. You know, I just want to see the patterns more. That's what it is. It's a big pattern of some sort. And that's what the cards would do. Bounces. Needed erasers. Interesting. Oh yeah, where's this book we were talking? I'm gonna look at. Might help us. I didn't give it away, but I know it was. I don't know. What can we talk about?
So give people an update on your painting. From last time that we saw you on this channel, you had a different painting in the background.
Oh, that's right. All right, so let's see. How do you do the flipperoo? No, that didn't work. How do you do the flipperoo? Can't really do the flip, actually. That's a brute. Can you even see it? Well,
oh, yeah, for sure.
Put this on. Yeah, the big sheet is gone. I really missed that thing, though. I was looking at pictures today. My old Shiva, I was sitting there on my phone, dude, and for like fucking 20 minutes, I had stared off at it, like really hard. Wait, let's see. This way. All right. So yeah, it's in the 7, which is saying, like, the way I put it is, the 2 normal triangles would be man and female, but then to evolve that, you have to put God in the middle, which creates the next spoke or wheel into 7.
Right.
But Shiva also represents destruction, and he's the lord of the dance. So he's able to dance a new dance. You know what I mean? Like, destruction doesn't have to be a bad thing. I'm not hoping for anything bad. We have ICXC going in each one of these spots, which is a Christogram. It's a Greek Christogram. It's Christ. Because Jesus said the only way to get to the Father was through him. So that's my idea. I'm like, all right, well, Jesus, I think this might be daddy. Well, the archetype of Shiva and what he stands for. It's still squaring a circle. It's still squaring the circle. You have the 4 doorways for the 4 cardinal directions. Can't forget that tool up there. This tool is awesome. These are the little cutouts.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, wait, where is it? From the album covers. And I put black light paint on there. And then I also leaves again. This fucker. That concept of duality and like trying to break that, essentially. The DM-Turner.
Nice.
You've
been doing a lot of art recently. That's awesome.
Yeah. Then we got sigils up here for various things. Removing fear of ghosts and victory over enemies and bewitching people if you have to and stuff like that. Oh wait, I can't forget Jesus. Is it a Jesus sigil? Where is it?
Yeah, you did that one a couple days ago, right? Or yesterday?
It's 2 days. This one I did 2 days ago. Yeah, squaring the squaring of the circle, which is also the serpent. I'm pretty sure the serpent's tied in with our DNA and somehow trying to evolve that.
For sure.
Various methods. Then I did this one, another squaring of the circle, but instead of the eye of it's still the eye of Horus. But there's a lot of similarities between Horus and Shiva that I'm noticing, and like Jesus and all these other characters. And like, it's the same story. And then we got this little evil fucker. This little fucking Tronzon.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Oh, I'm gonna put more up there. I had this weird theme. I did this one today. This one, like the dark side of the feminine, like the flames don't give off light, the moon doesn't really shine in my picture. That's how I'm like putting it, and it's all like this dark stuff. But then I'm gonna make one, the dual version of it, have like divine goddesses and Hindu goddesses, and maybe the Virgin Mary, and like just pick different archetypes and do the polar opposite of it. The good and the bad. The good and the bad.
Well, thank you for that tour. That was very in-depth and interesting, and I'm pretty sure people on here appreciated it. So thanks, Rob. But anyway, you had a book?
Oh, yeah. This is it. Wait, not this book. Where is it? Graham Hancock. This one's called America Before. And this goes through, like, all these like channels for like obscure ancient buildings and stuff like that. It's in South America. Some of them are in Russia, in Asia, in India. Really touch on America. He starts to find some things, but he found more proof that America was the epicenter for the cataclysm that had happened. So there wouldn't really be much evidence no matter what. Even if we had pyramids here, they were under miles of ice and pummeled fucking. So there would be nothing left. They find some stuff. Serpent Mound was the big one. That one's interesting. That's in Ohio, right? Yeah, Serpent Mound's in Ohio.
Yes. Yeah, not too far from me.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because several tombs are placed on Serpent Mound. And to circle back to the snake and the DNA thing, the mound builders and a lot of Native American culture talk about how, excuse me, the snake is definitely involved with our DNA. So it makes you wonder, when we got fucked with, our DNA got fucked with, if they had a lot to do with it. And just as my personal opinion and from my experiences, I've seen interdimensional snakes before. I've never been in fear of them, but they've always been around or tried to do something to me. And I've allowed it. So, I mean, I don't think it's anything bad. I'm sure people get freaked out when they see like a giant cosmic snake serpent wrapping its coils around everything in your mind.
Yeah. I'm in contact with snakes. There's been times where like I was swimming in them and they were fine because they were super cool and like, yeah, they were just swarming with geometric hallucinations. And the other time they were trying to eat me, and I don't know that. Hey.
I've had several people report the same thing, the last one, where the serpent tries to eat them. And I find that one fascinating, although I've never had it happen to me.
Wait, what if we're the tail of the serpent? It's just eating itself. I should have let it. I should have let it eat me. That's that's about that until serpent mound. That makes perfect sense. Serpent. That's a big one.
What's the actual name for the snake eating its tail? Obor.
Orbis.
Yes,
Orbis.
yes. That symbol's been used a lot in ancient cultures.
A lot. It really is. It means so many things too. That's the weird thing. Mm-hmm. There's so many different levels that you start to like break it down and take it into it. It's like, well, what the fuck? I was actually just looking at something. Let me see if I can find it. Something I found interesting. It was a magic square, but it related to our DNA. Where was it? It was really weird. Oh yeah, it's called the beastly magic square because it equals 666. Each row sums to 111. 6 rows, so 111, 666. 666, 18, which is 1 plus 8 is 9. So it's an ultimate number of vortex math. Yeah, which is interesting. A 666 is originally referred to as the number of creation, but it's also the amount of neutrons and electrons that were and our DNA is. What else? Gram and hexagram stuff. The Star of David's interesting too because that could be like that. Like when I think of stuff like that, I think of our DNA. Like I've seen it. Like if you had a bunch of 6-sided stars and ran strings every single point and just get a little twist, you would get a double helix. It's like, is that what we're really trying to do? Trying to go from 6 to 7 to have, 7 neutrons, protons, electrons, ourselves instead of 3? What is that?
Wow, that's fascinating. I have not thought about that personally. I'm glad you brought that up, so thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, we go where the river takes us, right? Where the river takes
Absolutely.
us. I'm not driving the boat anyways.
Well, if you're not driving and I'm not driving, it's the old Scooby-Doo trick.
It is. We're just going with the flow of the river. We don't even have paddle. But I don't know how to do it.
No, but that's really cool to think about. No, you just turn me on with the flip of a switch, really.
Turns you on. Yeah, it's really weird. Like, why is that? Like, and there's so many things we've been made to think that are bad. Like, a lot of people, they hear 666, they go, ooh, devil, ooh, raw. Like, it's like this horrible omen. But when you see it in math and see like what it's connected to, wait a minute. Like, how, how fucking big is the microcosm to the macrocosm? How far does that thing go? Because it seems like it goes pretty far. It's all the way down to just level and back into the cosmos. It's fucking weird.
It would be infinite, wouldn't it?
Would be infinite. But that's funny you say that, because I was just looking at tau and pi. 3.14257124857. It's actually interesting you said that, because it landed right on it. Yeah, and then I wrote down after here a quote from Crowley: "How shall I unite the 5 and the 6, the microcosm and the macrocosm? The great magical number, as uniting the antithesis of 5 and 6, the magic force itself. The universe is the celebration of the great work accomplished." And then underneath it, there was the 7 Shakespearean ages of man that we go through, essentially, is like in this process before we keep going on. The helpless infant, the whining schoolboy, the emotional lover, the devoted soldier, the wise judge, old man told his faculty, they aged. But then they also break it down like each one has a medal, like they're talking about alchemy, Shakespeare ages. What are these dudes doing? Why don't I understand any of it? I don't understand.
Because occult shit is supposed to have some kind of subtlety and nuance.
No.
If you weren't in the clique.
That's got to be clicks. Maybe there's reasons for it. I think there probably is reasons for it. I don't know. Well, I guess that's one thing, because we wanted to talk about ancient technology and old buildings. I mean, that's what the pyramids are. It is the squaring of the circle. It is the alchemy. It is the somehow the print for all woo stuff. They were turned left old, probably doing it. And an asteroid came. And it stopped us in our tracks. I just gotta grab my charger real quick. Give me 1 second. You ever I don't know why I do this sometimes, not paying attention, and I walk into my own door, or the door frame with my fucking shoulder, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You've walked through this door so many times, you can't remember to walk without running into shit.
You've been there, what, 8 months now?
Yeah,
I think you get it.
What the fuck? Wow, there we go. Yeah, the pyramids. What are they doing? What are they doing?
Well, I find it interesting, speaking on the subject of pyramids, I find it interesting that the ones in Giza, the only ones in the world, they've been finding them in China, New Zealand, Brazil, South America.
There's a real big one in Russia. Really, really makes the Pyramid of Giza look small. That's fucking insane.
Oh yeah, I think they call that one the Moon Temple, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they look like mountains. Some of them, those show pictures, and there's trees and stuff growing over it. You're looking at it, and you're like, wait, no, that is a pyramid. Just it looked like a fucking mountain.
Could you imagine the amount of effort it would take to build something like that? The amount of sheer drive from an entire culture of people to build that?
Well, what I wonder too, though, is if they were more advanced, it would take a lot of drive, but it would take less energy, because if they were more efficient, they would use less energy to do more work. So when we look at it, it is grand and it is miraculous. I think maybe they did it very easily. That's what I wonder. They knew what they were doing so much that they were able to do it with ease. Or that's a pipe dream, But I look at them and I'm like, these do something that we didn't, so it was probably a lot easier for them than it would be us, kind of deal.
they've done mathematical equations on the Giza pyramids, and they're saying, and don't quote me on this, they're saying something like it would take 1 billion or 1 million workers laying all those stones at 1 minute or 1 second each time for 30 years to build it.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I like Graham Hancock too, because he throws up some good arguments about that with like doing it by hand. There's in the King's Chambers, the supporting column beams in that place, they're 80 tons. That's huge. And there's no way that you could do it. There's no possible way. They always leave out those blocks because the outside blocks and everything you could account for. In the pyramid, there's a couple dozen ton of fucking blocks. It's like, that's fucking, man, I don't know. Speaking of squaring the circle in places too, there's actually another place in Ohio. It's found in this book. Let's see if I can flip it around. It's not like let's see. It's not like a pyramid, but it's a field in Pike County, Ohio, as mapped by Squire and Davis in 1848. Yeah, it's weird.
That is also close to me.
Oh, is it? Wonder how many more you could find. High Bank. There's actually quite a few in Ohio. What's weird is I know there was a big Native American presence like down from your area and like up into mine, like all around the Great Lakes. How close are you to water, to the lakes?
3 hours.
They were smart.
It would take me roughly about 6 hours to get to you.
6 hours? That's not too bad, actually.
No, not at all.
Too bad. I just seen The Vine of the Dead. I'm just flipping through this book randomly. Vine of...
Vine of the Dead. That sounds interesting.
Nothing striking me out. What do you think about crop circles? What do you think about those? Do you think some of them are real and some of them are bullshit? Like...
Okay, so I would say that if it probably happened probably in the early part of like the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and then it later became a hoax, I would totally agree with that. And then that some of them scattered throughout are actually real and some of them are a hoax, I'll say that as well. And I believe that there are mathematical equations for us to figure out because math is a universal language.
I look at them like they're sigils or seals, like, which, it's a mathematical equation or representation of something, or a glyph, like a language, but a math language. That's got to be what it is. I think the same thing, though. There's probably like, if they are still happening, it's probably rare. And if it does happen, we should really be paying attention to what the fuck they're saying. You could definitely do a lot of it with ropes and fucking stuff. And people have figured out elaborate ways to do the whole crop circle thing now. But some of them
it's amazing what you can do with like a tube bore and pieces of rope.
Yeah, well, that's what it is too. It's like a square and a compass. You know what I mean? Like that's why like Masons and it's all, and that's like, I think about it. Most of my artwork, that's what it is. Like, I find the center point. From there, I'll do a circle or a square, and like, with such a simple tool, you can create so many things. It's fucking nuts. Yeah, it's a rope. Straight line. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that though. We're gonna get T-ish, like the whole cube thing. I've seen lots of shapes in DMT, but there's like big structures that are fucking, I don't know, I can't even comprehend so much. It's like, what do you say about when you were there. It's like, no, there's cube land. That's what I got. There's fucking cube lands.
I would say it's like a giant. You're inside of a giant cathedral that's covered with fractal paisley.
I like that too. Yeah. Yes. It is a cathedral. You know what's weird is like a couple times that I did it. Well, yeah, more than a couple times, but like it was this reoccurring theme. Like as soon as I was blasting off, like I had to go down this square tunnel. I like weird because it's higher dimensional. You know, I go down this tunnel and I to the experience, like to the breakthrough. But this wasn't all the time, but it's happened enough where I'm like, I know the fucking place. Yeah. It's just really weird. It's like, is that someone else's place? Is that like my loading dock? You know, like I come out of my slumber and I gotta go down the hallway from my bedroom to get into the fucking room. What is that?
I can feel that, definitely. For me, it's like, I get, like the first time that happened was like that classic Terrence thing where it's just like that classic chrysanthemum kaleidoscope that opens up in the center of the room and it just sucks you in, right? Well, now it's all doorways and I've got all the keys in my hand. It's real weird, dude.
Interesting. So you've noticed the evolution doing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're not pushing the envelope with this, you are making a huge mistake.
I noticed that too. It's like a story. Like it's like your cosmic story. Like we're on this one. You start seeing yourself in that level, it definitely starts to change. Yeah, that's weird you say it because you got the keys to the door. I remember the first couple times I did it, I felt like a nothing. I felt like I was just a vague outline of a something. And eventually I became this jester with like these language blocks of magic. Like I was the king of the castle with my language blocks.
Wow, that's awesome.
This is nice. I went from a blue, no, it was a green head. I was a green head the first time I did DMT. I was just a green fucking head sitting there. And blew open.
You know, that's the funny thing when you do some psychedelics, or a lot of psychedelics, in fact, you started to notice that people are just talking heads.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
The weird thing is the entities that don't have faces, like they're communicating with you, but there's no face. So it's like it's something completely obscure.
No, I haven't had a faceless entity, but I have had faces that morph into other faces or morph into other things before. So I find that interesting. A faceless entity. Wow. I haven't ran into one of those, but I'll be sure to look out for one. Sure.
Yeah, when you see him, you won't be able to miss him. You're like, damn,
Gotcha.
You ain't got face.
And
no head
I
structure.
do kind of feel like you're right, and you know, collectively we're right on the same mindset that literally they're just waiting for you to go ahead and do this. Just jump on in. They're just waiting, dude. It's weird. They're everywhere.
They're 100% waiting for you. Like, there's not a doubt in my mind. Well, I have had times where it seemed like I've poked my head in and then they've noticed me, but the vast majority of the time. So what does Terrence say? He's like, they're waiting with a net to catch you. And like, hey, fucker, we only got 3 minutes with you and you got to learn all of this stuff and retain it. Look at it. Looky. Man. Why is it so crazy?
I know that I'm early into my career, and I'll say with this specifically, last 3 years making it, and then the last 7 years of my life I've dedicated to this, the research and figuring things out. And I have to say that yes, I am kind of still young in my career, but I do want to go above and beyond with this and see where it takes me. I have no fear of like going crazy or ending up in the slammer. I really don't. Over a plant. Come on, seriously.
And if you work it the right way, you could stay under the radar for long as you pop.
Well, I have a plan for that, and it involves you, and we'll talk privately. But I digress.
Gotta start cooking. All these pies waiting for.
Oh, yes. So many pies.
Closet full of pies.
I got a question for you. And we'll speak in code. But how are you maximizing your yield?
Heat is a big thing for me. It's got to be really hot. I find you can get more in there or get more out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so the fire, let's see what else. I haven't noticed anything like significant with water. I've tried like distilled, purified, and then tap. I haven't noticed much with that personally. I don't know if you have a prep use your water.
We've been using distilled drinking water, and I find that it's way purer than tap water.
Definitely is. Yeah, it's definitely more pure. I just didn't know about like your yields. I never noticed anything otherwise. That's really it. Yeah.
I find with the bottled water that it's a lot purer, so that way the trip lasts longer. You know what you're getting into. The tap water, I did it by mistake and had a bunch of fluoride in it, and I could tell.
Interesting. If you think about it too, like if you go with the thing that there might be a spirit attached to every cup, some people would think. I think that might be a possibility. Like, yeah, making sure you have clean water would be good because there's like 50 things in there.
I try to use a little bit more naphtha, so because it does get evaporated a little bit.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's the other thing. Your reduction. You got to do a really good reduction. I've noticed like the times where I've rushed it, and I didn't evaporate, concentrate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do it as much as I can. I take like whatever I used in that plate, then I'll put it back on the crock pot, and I'll let it get down to like 15% of what it was. I'll like let it take up, like good like 80-85%. Juice it. Really interesting. So weird. It's just a hodgepodge of thing. This is profound experience. It's so weird, actually. It's just like, it's like I got this chemical on top of toaster strudels in my freezer.
Yes, absolutely. I've been there. I've been there, man. Right, right next to the chicken nuggies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I had them on toaster strudels. Just a tiny pack, like the lunchbox.
Do you think that helped it? The strudel helped it?
What's that?
Do you think the strudel helped it? I do. I think the strudel helped it.
I think it did. Its sweetness permeated into it.
Thank God for Pillsbury. That's all I can say.
Woohoo!
Mm-hmm. Woo-hoo. That's the good stuff. No, that was just a quick question to shoot at you because definitely getting back into it over this holiday season. I like to cook in the winter because it's cold and there's not a lot of hustle and bustle and people are just trying to get into their house. So
I get very creative and it's more. It's definitely in the winter time because we're stuck indoors more. The kind of project with.
Might as well make something fun and make a little bit of money.
Exactly.
And heal some people.
Yeah, that's why I just want to help people. I decided somehow. Yeah.
Trust me, I've asked them I was like, is this okay to charge? And they're like, you got to eat, don't you? And I was like, yeah, thanks. So
Till we give you
it's
the
perfectly.
get rid of money, you have to.
Gotta
Yeah.
eat.
Or don't you? No, we do need to eat. But I was actually just talking to my cousin about this because he wanted to try tripping the way I have, and I'm like, we need to step it up a notch. Dude. Like, we got to fast before, like, because there's difference. But I want to do like maybe a 3 to 7, absolutely no food. Take a really big stiff toast too, to see what effect it would have. If it's like if you had, I don't know, like just water in your body and then you look 10 mushrooms, it would have a completely different chemical reaction inside of your body opposed to eating food every day and you have all these other chemicals in your body. Your body's spending all the energy to fucking take it out, and like, yeah, you just took the mushroom and you're tripping, but you'd probably be tripping a lot more if you didn't go straight and fucking took mushrooms in the sun. Fucking crazy shit. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
It'd be fun, yeah. You can etch that on my grave.
Yeah, it'll be fun. What can go wrong?
What could go wrong, right? Well, the fun part is no one's ever died on it, so it's like...
No, I know. Yeah.
I have to imagine, though, on 5-MeO, you probably do feel like you are dying.
Oh, yeah. It just becomes no two. Eventually. In a way.
I want to try it, but also I don't want to ruin my NN experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's that profound.
That's the weird thing with people. It's like, I've noticed this too. Like, you have people that use the medicines, and once you get to 5-MeO, it's like, that's the end all be all. Like, nobody talks about anything else but that. I've had the non-dual experience, and it's one of the most profound experiences. Like, complete non-dual. But I've had stuff like that with DMT. Rick Strassman talks about that in his book too. Out of every 50 people, 1 out of 50 will have finding white light, Terry consciousness, on God, God's everything trip. Yeah, so it's like, how does that get determined? Like, because you might do DMT and have aliens that convert themselves into frogs and something obscure X, Y, and Z, or you're like, I'm sitting with God. That's such a big difference. It's a big difference. Crazy.
No, that is a very drastic difference. And
yeah.
Like I said, I don't think
there's no more anyone else.
I think that I probably had those experiences on NN, because I feel like the product that I make is really pure and can get me there, and I don't have to use a lot of it, which I find amazing.
Wait, I got an idea. Is there a way that we could come up with a drink if we made our own Kool-Aid?
Let's go for it.
Actually, I really do want to try that soon. I want to make an infused wine. Something in me has been telling me this for over a year to come up with something. And it's got to be probably really easy to just add it with just one other chemical. You know what I mean? To make it really act. Some type of NMAI in the wine. I don't fucking know. I want to make a DMT wine.
I follow you.
What are you saying?
I follow you.
It's that juice.
Right? No, I follow you. I can, although, you gotta look at this aspect though. I wouldn't necessarily want to mix alcohol with that. You know what I mean?
No, I know. It is a bit different. Yeah, and then what effect would that have on it too? What effect would it sitting in alcohol also?
Right. I'm not sure.
No. Oh no. I want to make a brew though. Maybe it'll just be orange juice, DMT and orange juice or something. But I want to come forward. DMT chamomile tea. DMT.
Yeah, no, you can
Wait,
you can make it.
with chacruna leaves in there, and we'll call it DMT.
DMT. No, you totally could. I think you just need Syrian root to counteract the MEO inhibitors that you have in your stomach lining, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There's what do they call it? Harmalines, harmalines.
Yes, harmalines.
There's a bunch of them, but Syrian root is really good to get, and it's easy and cheap. It's readily available. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. Tea. Wait, I'll make concoction.
We're in the lab now, folks.
Alchemy of the drink. It would be nice to have a brew, though. I'm just thinking, it would be nice. Why?
I think so too, because I find that a lot of people are turned off by the idea of inhaling it.
Of an alien?
Mm-hmm.
Inhaling it? I thought you said an alien. Yeah. Inhaling. No. I've had people because it was the smoking part, they completely botched it or fucked it up. Or other times, when I didn't have my money and I just enough, because that's what it is. It's just a little oil burner. People get turned off immediately. Not everybody, but some people no. My lips on that because I smoke crack a lot of times, or I did this. It brings up bad memories. They can't handle you putting that white powder in the pipe because they're already thinking it's ice or it's fucking something. It's a rock. And I'm like, damn, dude. I'm trying to heal you, man. I'm trying to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. On the surface, it totally looks like that. I could tell you that right for sure.
Yeah. It's different if you had somebody that's, was just taking pills or maybe they're an alcoholic. You get somebody that's a crackhead hit this pipe. They're I'm not trying to hit the pipe anymore, man. That's what it looks too similar.
It does. If it wasn't for that slight yellowish tint sometimes, you would swear that it was.
Yeah, for sure. Could you imagine that if you were if you weren't using it safely and you're some teenage kid working at McDonald's, you're hitting the fucking DMT pipe, cops see you, or have some kind of incident where people are misusing it like that. That'd be pretty interesting, actually. Yeah.
Bro, imagine hitting that expecting crack, but you get DMT.
That's how we could do it. We'll swap the rocks. We'll have a swap the rocks campaign. Fuck it. It's like those.
What are we gonna do with a bunch of crack, dog?
Wash it.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's true.
Something. No. See if we can use it for dental. Toothaches. Put a rock in there.
We'll finally build what our forefathers intended, which was Mount Crackmore.
Mount Crackmore. And it was that was part. It's part of the city, so all the sub. They always called it crack. And I thought that was so cheesy. There was a lot of crackheads. Really, what's weird is when I grew up, all those suburbs were the places you didn't want to, because that's where all the worst addicts were because they had more money. I was oh, this is weird. It's better in the city sometimes, depending on where you go. Yeah, that was a random thought. What did you say before that? I was gonna bring some up. You said something. You said something. What was it? I don't remember. Something about DMT. I don't know.
Yep.
Something about DMT. Something.
Make concoction.
Yeah. Oh, no, I remember what it was. Okay. So if we're thinking about becoming alchemically stoned, my other idea, because of the wine, right? If you're able to make it with the wine, what, like, for me, when I drink, I don't know if this happens to everybody, but I could feel my blood's moving. Like my blood feels like it's thinning out, like it's moving around more. You start to feel warmer. I heard your body temp actually goes down, but you can feel like the sensation in your body. I wonder if you kept it at a slight buzz or even less with the alcohol mixed with the DMT, what kind of experience that would provide. It's like if your blood was moving free flowing, because there's a tiny bit of alcohol in there, would that alter the experience because now you have more DMT flowing through your blood? Passing the air than if you hadn't had that little bit of alcohol. That's what I'm wondering. Oh, some kind of brew. It's got to be a brew. That's what it is. So I just keep thinking it's got to be a brew.
That's a pretty interesting theory. I've just been told by folks in the I'll tell. It's story time. I had a friend who was a wook, and he told me my first experience, pretty much. But I digress. He said that he was drinking really heavily and he decided to hit it, and they slapped him in the face and told him, "Don't ever come here like that." Like, on alcohol. And I was just like, wow, that's really profound. I'm not going to do that or ever make the mistake of doing that. But also, alcohol for me, because I have an ADHD brain, alcohol works a little different for me. I get dialed in more. I become more calculated, more dialed in with everything. I don't like that aspect of me. I like being loosey-goosey, you know what I'm saying? I try to refrain from it as much as possible, but I do not have a problem with people enjoying themselves.
Damn it. I could focus again. What the fuck?
Oh no, it's for me, like my ADHD, I hate when I have to focus, and any other kind of like element where I do have to do that, I'm just not involved at all. Don't want to be there. I just rather be free flow and do my own thing. I mean, I think that's why I'm an artist in the first place.
That's a good way of thinking it too. Like, so some things you do have to focus on those tasks, but like when you're in the creative process, for me, it's when I lose myself. It's like I become free of myself and then art. It's really weird. It's like you're focused on doing something, but you're not focused at all. You're somewhere else. It's weird. Art is fun. I really want to try the whole remote viewing sketching thing. I think I would actually do really good at that. Just to see what you like. I've been looking into it more, and it seems like a lot of these people, like, they quick sketches, like things they see in their mind or like ideas that start flowing, and draw a picture of it and get really obscure things out of it. Yeah.
That would be gnarly. You could do like a time-lapse video.
I wonder how far it goes too, because like, I don't know. I'm just thinking about dabbling with it all as like remote viewing, but people that could do it for real, like governments have hired people over projects with like psychic warfare and all this other. It's like, how far can that go? Like, what can you really do with your mind?
So speaking of, I've done, for some reason, I don't know if this is like a hoax or whatever, and it probably is. But they call it the SSP, which is like they call it the super secret space program. I don't know if you've ever heard this or not.
Oh, it sounds totally Super Troopers, though.
Oh yeah, I would like to know more. But anyway, they said that you know, they're on mining colonies in Mars and things like that, and they have full memory of it. And I find those stories pretty interesting, but then again, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Oh, that's the weirdest thing. It is weird. Like, because I hear some people that tell stories and I like them. Maybe like later on down the line, I might think they're full of shit too. You know, it's really weird. Like, dude, I used to listen to you. You fucking liar. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. I don't. I actually feel that way in this moment. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Like, I know that I know stuff, or maybe I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough to say that I do know.
That's a good stance on things.
Weird conundrum. Weird conundrum. Interesting. We were talking about the serpent. The serpent seeds. The serpent seeds. I gotta look back into this book. Not right now. I don't know. The serpent thing is interesting. Is that how we evolved? That's what they're trying to say. Like, taming this one aspect of the universe and then putting it to yourself, essentially. Grabbing the ether, whatever, and, you know, harnessing it and evolving. One of us chimps got to do something. Got to do something. Got to figure something out.
No, I agree. There have been ancient cultures that talk about how our DNA was manipulated with a reptile DNA and some sort of higher dimensional DNA, and somehow that's how you got us, and we're supposed to be slaves, right? So I talked about this yesterday in my podcast. If we were meant to be slaves, we did our job, or we kicked them off the planet. Or the third option is that they wanted to watch our consciousness evolve from a babysitter state.
Yeah, like we were in the incubator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could jive with that actually. I think, yeah, after what I've seen, it looks like we might be some genetic byproduct, random, some like entities and species, definitely like reptilians. We have a reptile brain. You know, like every mammal has the reptilian brain. It's like, all right, well, that's definitely a basis for something. You know what I mean? What's weird is that's where we get our pineal in the reptilian. I mean, is that another reference to the snake? Because the snake is a reptile, right?
Right.
And it's trying to, yeah. Concept of the snake is.
It's probably the snake DNA that allowed us to be conscious.
Wait a minute. Why does that make so much sense right now? Is that what they're talking about? Is that like once you harness that, that's when you really, like when you finally conquer the snake, that's actually when you activate the reptilian part of your brain? Is that what they're saying? Exactly.
Well,
because that, I don't know. It's just a thought.
This is kind of like a double-edged sword, Rob. We gotta look at it this way. Reptiles are low frequency beings, right? But they have the consciousness state. Now, you put that with us, who we're emotional beings, and we're also walking, talking electrical plants, right? Okay? So you take that with our creativity, and we are just magnets for these things to either take our energy or to enhance us, to make us more aware, more conscious.
Great. Yeah, it's weird. Like the things that feed. I don't know how else I want to put that. Like some things, yeah, either give us nourishment, or there's this other aspect that takes away. It's fucking strange. So strange. You just swirl it. Well, if we're a genetic experiment, when are they just gonna show up again? Like, when do they come? Fucking, you know.
So you want a higher dimensional being to take responsibility for creating us? I see. Okay, all right, I see. No, I agree with you. It's like, when are they going to show up and reveal themselves? You know, but the evidence is all around us. Honestly, with our architecture, our technology, the way that our DNA structure, the very core of our being is alien, and it just so happens that we landed on this planet, whatever it was. And we thrived here, or we were already here already, and they fucked with us. You know, I wonder what life was like before that. Were we just a bunch of apes, like throwing sticks and fucking a bunch of ape-hoes? What's the dealio?
So the Aborigines in Australia are like some of the last people that had a different genetic code. And it's 42 chromosomes. Like, they're in a state of unitary consciousness somehow. Like, it's weird. And then the evolution of conscious, like we have less unitary consciousness. So like, why is that? And like, I think a lot of it might be the diet too. Obviously diet comes into play, but I don't know. It's so weird. It's like people are a hodgepodge. You know what's weird is some people you look at and they're like, they're a different looking type of human. They don't know. Some of them broke the mold. They broke the mold. Weird. Because like, white people look like Asian people. Like, I've seen lots of white actually resemble Indian people, like from India. Like, we're really similar, opposed to like, Black people look different. And then certain parts, Filipinos, they look like, I don't know, it's so weird, you know, like, what is that? Is it really evolution, or are we different species? You know, we're like all kind of humanoid. I don't know. It always goes back to I don't know. Man, I can speculate a lot of things, but it pisses me off sometimes that we can't prove it. Like, why can't we prove it? Why does it gotta be? Why can't I pull it back down?
I'm in the neighborhood of faith and belief is enough for me, because the things that I've seen that no other person will be able to have seen or experience without doing the things that I've done. And I'm comfortable with that. And it's just, I feel like other people need to be open to the possibilities and to the idea that these things are all around us and they do influence us on a daily basis.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So many thoughts. It's just so weird. It's like a 4 or 5 dimensional entity took it the third dimension, and it is us. And then they're about to check here. Is it growing? Here. I would consider the entities aliens. I would say they're alien to an extent. Like, they kind of fit the definition, you know, some other life form that is not human, but also intelligent, seemingly more intelligent. Like, yeah. take on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shape.
For sure, they're alien, or the fact that we're alien to them.
Yeah. I think it's definitely textbook question. Like it's aliens. It's aliens.
Oh yeah,
bro.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens, bro.
Okay.
There's a reason why Ancient Aliens went on for 13 seasons. Come on now, I mean that shit's either legit or they're banking money off of it, which is possible.
I think it's probably a mix of like truth is in bullshit, like because there's I've seen a lot of with this or I can't, but definitely dude, so much interesting stuff. They gave that guy too much shit. I don't even remember his name. Everyone gave him shit because he had wacky hair, and I'm like, oh man.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember what his name is, but I liked him as a personality. I think they did a lot of good research, but if you look at them all together, it's the same thing. It's just like, did ancient aliens have a hand in this or that? And it's like they'll come up with some good solid theories there, but I think it's your job to figure out which one's real and which one's not.
No, exactly. Yeah, you never know the story with some of those things. It's like
But I'll have to admit,
they never find the treasure. It's like, what the fuck?
oh, like Oak Island, yeah, it's a TV show. You know what I'm saying? They're never gonna find anything. They found just like the smallest little clues here and there, but
yeah. I hope I find treasure one day. I'm still always on the hunt for treasure. Always on the hunt. That'd be cool.
Are you still taking your son out to go mining or metal detecting? That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. The ground's just too frozen. It's too much of a pain in the ass to do it.
Oh yeah, shit. You guys are still like on lockdown, basically, aren't you?
No, we got all the snow's gone now. It rained and it all went away. Yeah, which is nice.
Funny how that happens, huh?
Yeah, but the ground is still like if you're lucky, you'll be able to get like 2 inches down in the ground. But normally, it's like it's frozen solid. Like it's like trying to, the dirt just turns to concrete. Yeah, springtime will be fun. I want to get in the canoe and start doing metal detecting because I got goes underwater. I can go 20 meters underwater with it. I'm not going 20 meters. You just go on a canoe and park and walk around in the fucking creek or red. See if you can find some stuff. There's always stuff. Just gotta stuff. I gotta ask an entity one time. I'll use the EMT and be like, all right, please show me where a treasure is with my metal detector and see if they come up with something.
That would be funny. That would be really funny.
It's been by the tree and the coffee can the whole time, you dumb fucker. Like, I'm going to go check. All right.
That's great.
Like, oh.
That would be very interesting. I've never asked them what what secrets they have. You know what I mean? I'm always just asking, like, what's your purpose? Or, you know, something involved with me is usually what the message is. It's usually pretty personal, but.
Interesting. Yeah, I want to ask them. Like, I've heard lots of stories like that, actually, like in a different way, though. Like, entities would warn people of something. Hey, didn't you know that, you left the oven on? Or, hey, didn't you know that, there's like, I don't know, a leak downstairs. This like all this weird shit that comes to be true. But if you just ask them, like, yo, can you help me recover all my lost things or like any money that I lost somehow? See what they can do. But I don't know. See, like you really.
I'd be like, hey, yo, can you help me find my keys?
Yeah, no, exactly. You find something. Maybe like, I don't know, rubbing a genie in the bottle though. Like, listen, you can only do this 3 times, fucker. like
right?
Shit. Yeah, come on.
Poking the bear on this.
That'd be a bitch.
It would be for sure.
Oh man, you'd have to make some big wishes. I'd like make it all love. Let's see if that works first. Like just make it all love.
That would be spectacular. Well, Rob, I think that's a good way to end the show.
I agree. I do agree. Yeah, I'm gonna think about some things too. It's got me. I don't know. So, it was always fun, dude. It is.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Scratch the brain, move it around.
All right, everybody. Gonna sign off here. Take it easy. It's always a pleasure having you, Rob. If anyone wants to check out his channel, it's DMTurner right there on the bar. Capital D, capital M, capital T. You know the rest. Follow him. Get on there. I'm not even going to do the typical YouTuber like, comment, subscribe shit because it don't matter. You're here. You're listening. Appreciate every one of you for listening, whether it's on your drive to work, on your way home, or out getting groceries, man. We appreciate you for being here, checking us out. All right, man. Peace.